Well, dear friends, greetings to all. Today I will show you one of the oldest chess games, dated 1620th year. She was played by a Greek. This is a famous Italian chess player, one of the first such serious chess players of that time. 1620th year is the 17th century, and even then people played chess, played very interestingly, vividly, sacrificially. And the game began with a move, of course e4, e5, knight f3 and f6. This is Damian's defense. I think this is one of the worst defenses in chess. Of course, you can play much worse, you can get mats in 2 moves and in 3 moves, but this move does not lead to anything good at all. It is an absolutely illogical move. You took the bullet from the knight, you weakened the diagonal as much as 5e8. The king already gets under the Shah key, and of course you will get a very powerful blow. The knight hits e5, such is the sacrifice of the knight, and here it is naturally impossible to accept the sacrifice. You need to play the queen on the field e7, the knight returns, and d5 you need to play. It is too early to take a pawn, they are pressing on the pawn. But the pawn is protected and white's position is much better, because the holes on the white fields are now, the black field is closed, the face is absurdly on the same vertical with the king. Now white bishops will develop castling and will threaten to put a rook on the field at all. I am alone and win a queen somewhere. But at that time, it was the 17th century, I remind you, 1620th year. At that time, it seemed to me that it was somehow even wrong, in a bad tone, ugly, and almost all sacrifices were accepted, because chess was not very developed at that time, and it was interesting just what it will happen if you take this horse away. Why does he give his knight for a pawn? He either doesn't know how to play chess, or he knows how to play chess very well, and on the third knight they sacrifice, a move, right? On the third move, of course, the knight is sacrificed. And here, of course, the queen from the field is already 5, because I have already said that the diagonal is weak. It was possible to try to pay off with a move of 6. We took the rook win. Now of course the rook is taken and the pawn is punched on the e field by 4 black. But there will be no elephant closures here. The king goes to the field of d alone. The knight is hanging, the knight is protected by the queen. The elephant flies out on the field b5, it would seem. Why? But there is an absolutely good logical idea here. The rook e is won and the queen is lost. But this is still far away. Here it is necessary to somehow prove this move. But an extra rook for a knight so far. But black's position is absolutely lost, and the engine shows it. Let's just connect the engine plus 6 points. That's a lot actually. Here they write that the queen should be retreated, because you can't lose far. I wouldn't like it to be just some 8th move, friends. On the 8th move, such a rout occurs. But in the game it was noticeable that they would lose right away and decided to suffer somehow. They played king e7. Of course, the queen beats e5 on the field. Here you could try to invent something, but of course you will not close anywhere from the check. The only field is the field f7 bishop c4 step, and here you could try to play somehow like d5. To close from the Shah, it certainly breaks the elephant. The king has to retreat and as many as 4. The king is kicked out in a clean field, he has huge problems. Now Chernopolnik will open, all sorts of mats are already threatening on the sly. In principle, a pawn can be pushed and then another pawn can be pushed and there is already a step from the bishop, some constructions. In general, blacks have huge problems. Instead, the king retreats on the check and then he is simply checkmated on the sly. The queen is f5 check, the king ashes 6, the hidden check is a black bishop. There is nowhere to retreat, let's move on to close stupidly. This is the loss of the queen and the checkmate is closed with a pawn next move. And it would seem, well, how to continue the attack. And the attack continues with a very strong tactical move. The pawn is already fall. He is both explicit and interesting. You can hit a pawn can't hit back, because there will be a check. This pawn is tied, a hole will also open and also give a check. But the king still has a bullet in 7, where he runs away, but not for long. The queen f is 7 check, the king returns, and the pawn hits the field f5. Check from pawn, Check from Lazi. This is a double check, from which you can only walk away. But, unfortunately, the Black Monarch has nowhere to go. Here is such an interesting devastating game was played in the 17th century. Even then, chess players understood all the beauty and pleasure that this ancient game can bring. Thank you so much friends for watching. I am waiting for your comments, put likes, subscribe to the channel, because the videos are released daily. I wish you happiness, health and a peaceful sky over your head. Bye bye.